Hi. I don't know why, but I always enjoy my appearance more when I use the front camera. Maybe it's like a perception thing, but I just came on here to say a few things. I just finished reading Perks of Being a Wallflower this morning, and I definitely related to the loneliness or the hurt or caring for other people. But what's really cool in the edition that I got, there was a letter 20 years later from Charlie, kind of just saying that no matter how alone we feel, someone's experiencing the same thing and that we're all gonna make it. And I believe that. And I think as I've tried to take steps toward examining my life, there's a lot of times when I've examined other people's life and maybe even been worried that they aren't gonna make it. But then I wonder, if when I was engaging in certain self-destructive behaviors, if someone thought that about me, oh my God, what is she doing to herself? She's not gonna make it. And so I just came to the conclusion that somehow everybody is going to make it. And I think making it looks different for everybody. But I truly have faith in that. And today I'm in a very cool spot. And I have a smoothie and a water. There's something else I was gonna say. Well, I feel good today, and that's a start, right? I'm really happy with my eye makeup. Eco-friendly. And my day has been simple yet profound. I put dishes away in the dishwasher and I peeled and I cut up mango for my upcoming week. And I even offered some mango to another person in the household I'm at. And so all of that, I didn't feel good while doing it, but now that things have settled, it does feel good. Oh, this is what I was also going to talk about. So there's this book called A Psalm for the Wild. It's about a robot and a tea monk by Becky Chambers. So if you were interested and look those things up, it would come up. But basically what I love about it is it takes place in this new kind of world where the cities have rooftop orchards and they grow things in vertical whatever and vertical planters, and it seems like nobody really worries about going hungry or going sick, and the lifestyle seems pretty sustainable, and they take care of the land. And basically how this started was robots developed consciousness and they realized what they were being used for, and they decided that they didn't want to be used for that anymore. And so they were no hard feelings. And so basically I think the world was split 50-50, and so the robots were in the untouched wilderness, and then the humans rebuilt to accommodate the robots absent. And it's cool because it talks about the world we kind of live in now. It's post that world, and they still have advanced technology. They have a fold-up shower, which is awesome. They use a lot of solar power and biogas. But basically in the story, there's a tea monk named Dex, and basically they meet a robot who asks, what do humans need? And it's interesting because Dex is kind of going through their own existential thing, you know, like even though they have all they need, like they have they have housing, they became a monk, they like decide they need to get out of the city because they notice that they like resent the things they once loved. So someone like builds them like the monk people build them like a bike with a wagon attached that they can literally live in. And so they spend the next 2 years like self-teaching themselves how to be a tea monk, and they get really good. Like people thank them with all these fancy dinners, and they still feel like something's missing. So they go like further out into like the untouched wilderness, and that's where they meet this robot. And then like, I won't spoil the book, but basically there's this one part where she says, you know, because the robot wants to know like how humans have been since they left in the factory age, which would be like basically our world, and then them coming back and being like, yo, what happened? And Dex even says like, you know, we have built a better world. Nobody comes to me sick or hungry, but there's still a need for people like me. Like a monk, there's still a need for people like them. Like no matter what's going on in the world, you know, there's still this sense of longing and despair. And I think that longing and despair is guiding us to the role we play in life. And it is unbearable sometimes, and it does feel hopeless, but I truly believe on the other side of longing and despair, when we pay attention and when we listen to it, it guides us to at least be ready for a change. Because I feel like in my current past, I have paid attention to my longing and despair. Like I feel like I've really done all I can to address it and be honest with myself, and it still doesn't feel exactly like my life has done a full 360 yet, which is fine, but I think just knowing that where I am isn't fulfilling me, you know, guides me to somewhere else, even if I don't know why. Like for example, in the book, Dex ends up meeting like a robot, and they develop a friendship, and it's really nice. So, you know, I think longing and despair are here to teach us. And like, I know that the way the world works, built on scarcity, increases it, and it definitely makes it harder to navigate. However, I think even when the world that we want to exist, you know, where everyone is housed, everyone is clothed, everyone is fed, it will be amazing, but there will still be those feelings to address. And, you know, I'm excited to see what that world looks like. And I guess it gives me a sense of peace that longing and despair are normal. And I read in this one poem, so it wasn't my original idea, that someone it was invited depression or something in, and like poured them a cup of tea. And so I did the same thing yesterday when I had a cup of tea last night. I poured my fear a cup of tea because I have a lot of it right now. It's like I can't go back to the way things were, but I have no idea how to move forward without putting myself in danger. And so I just invited my fear to sit down, and I poured them a little bit of my tea in a cup across from me. And I did feel better about it. And, you know, I think in the past I would have spiraled. I might have like ate a bunch and like watched a movie, and like, that's okay, because that's what I learned to do to comfort myself. But I guess I used to think that if I felt despair, like, there was something wrong with me, and like, I shouldn't be feeling those things. But now I know that it's not about, you know, making those feelings go away. It's about, you know, experiencing them and just letting them pass. And I've known this for so long, but it feels like only now am I actually able to integrate it. So also, if anybody who's watching this is struggling with loneliness and despair, which I'm sure there are, and like, you feel like you know all these things based on seeing all this information, and if you feel like you aren't able to integrate it, that's okay. I think just practicing it, even when it feels unnatural, eventually you'll grow into it. Because I feel like I kind of started this journey in a way when I was like 18, and I learned about capitalism, and I learned about how the system was set up to make us fail. And I did feel a lot of despair and hopelessness, and, you know, wanting to like change things. And so I would like try, oh my god, look at this spider. Can you see it? Oh, you can't see it. Wait. No, you can't see it. It's too like tiny. But it's literally like dancing around. Wait, can you see it now? Oh my god. Hey. I hope you could see it. But like, I feel like I started this journey at 18, and I'm now 22. And so honestly, this has kind of been like 4 years in the making. And even before that, at 16, when I didn't know what was wrong, but I would always ditch school because I just didn't like being there. And I would actually come to this park sometimes with my friends. And honestly, I wish I would have came here alone more. But yeah, you know, I think if you're struggling with these things, like, we all are, and like, it's okay if you need to watch a bunch of YouTube videos on it, and it's okay if it doesn't go into full effect right away. You might find yourself a few months later all of a sudden being like, not only do I logically understand that concept, all of a sudden I can actually put it into practice. And I think I would kind of educate myself on all these things, and only now am I really starting to embody them, I think. And I just needed time, and we all need time. And even if all you're doing is clicking on videos on how to have a better life because you want to, and even if your life doesn't look like the practices in those videos, just the urge to click on that video, if you keep following that urge, eventually you keep feeding that impulse to want things differently, it will grow. And as I'm saying this to you, I am also saying it to myself. But you know, when I do things like this, like, I don't know if you can see how far down it is, but when I decide to climb up to this little rock area, and I had to drive 15 minutes from where I am, and I had to walk up this hill, and it's hot here because I'm in the valley, and it was like so much, and it was so annoying. But now that I'm here, there's so much quiet. There's like no other cars in the parking lot, and it's a Sunday. And I think the reason I'm also able to do this is because there was days where I just wanted to sit in bed and do nothing, and I really honored that. And even this morning, I wanted to wake up for the Brahmin hour and ask for divine guidance on all these questions. But then I woke up at 4 a.m. and I was like, no, I'm going back to bed. Like, I know that meditation is important, but like, sleep also is important. And I don't have work today. And yeah, so I don't know what time I woke up, but I just really took my time with today, even though I might not get to all the things I want to do. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And I know that if I keep posting videos, eventually I'll develop an audience. And so I just want to say thanks for watching, even if you didn't watch the whole thing. Look, it looks kind of funny on a rock. And I don't know you, but I love you. Or maybe I do know you.